The Epic of Taro, the Legend Reborn. The Peach Child's Destiny. In a realm where myths walk and legends breathe, an elderly couple in a humble village discovered a radiant, otherworldly peach drifting down the river. From within emerged a child, predestined for greatness, whom they named Taro. An ancient prophecy spoke of a hero born from a peach who would rise to combat a creeping darkness threatening the land. Chapter 1, Awakening of the Hero. In the verdant land of Nihon, where ancient spirits whispered through the sakura blossoms, the story of Taro, the peach-born child, began to unfold. Taro, with eyes as bright as polished jade and a heart brimming with unspoken courage, had lived all his 16 years in the small, serene village of Mizuho. The village of Mizuho was nestled in a fertile valley, bordered by a meandering river on one side and shadowed by the protective embrace of the Hikari Mountains on the other. The villagers, a tight-knit community of farmers and artisans, revered the old tales and lived in harmony with the rhythm of nature. As Taro's 16th birthday approached, an air of expectancy hung over Mizuho. The village elder, a wizened man named Master Kaido, often recounted the ancient prophecy of a hero born from a celestial peach who would rise in their land's darkest hour. Little did Taro know, his life was about to intertwine with this ancient prophecy. The eve of his birthday, Taro found himself restless, wandering under the starlit sky. Drawn to the riverbank where his life's journey began, he gazed into the waters, pondering his place in the vast tapestry of the world. It was then that the air shimmered, and a figure materialized, as if woven from moonlight. This figure was the mystical sage, Yumi no Miko, a guardian spirit of Nihon, whose ethereal presence had graced the dreams of the chosen for centuries. Yumi no Miko, with her flowing robes and hair that cascaded like a silver waterfall, spoke in a voice that resonated with the wisdom of the ages. Taro, son of the peach, your destiny awaits. Dark forces stir in the shadows, seeking to engulf Nihon in chaos and despair. You are the one foretold in the ancient prophecies, the hero who shall embark on a quest to reclaim the four celestial weapons. These sacred artifacts, forged by the gods themselves, are the only power capable of vanquishing the looming darkness. Taro, struck by awe and disbelief, found his voice, but how can I, merely a youth from Mizuho, bear such a burden? Yumi no Miko replied, within you flows the courage of the ancients and the strength of the celestial peach that gave you life. Your journey will be fraught with peril, but fear not, for you shall find allies in forms both humble and grand. As the first light of dawn crept over the mountains, Yumi no Miko faded into the morning mist, leaving Taro with a heart ablaze with purpose. He knew then that his life was no longer his alone, it was a gift to his people, a beacon of hope in the impending darkness. Taro returned to the village, his resolve hardened. He would embark on this perilous quest to gather the celestial weapons, the sword of wind, the bow of fire, the gauntlets of stone, and the trident of tides. With each step, he would tread the path of legend, awakening the hero within, destined to save Nihon from the encroaching shadows. Chapter 2, The Call to Adventure. In the heart of the picturesque village of Mizuho, as the first rays of dawn bathed the thatched roofs in a golden hue, Taro stood at the threshold of destiny. The words of Yumi no Miko, the ethereal sage, echoed in his mind, a call to a journey beyond the familiar fields and forests of his home. Taro, with the resolve of the ancient warriors of legend, prepared to leave. He donned a simple traveler's garb and packed a small bundle of essentials. His first destination was uncertain, but he trusted the path would reveal itself. Before departing, Taro sought the wisdom of Master Kaido, the village elder. Kaido, with eyes reflecting years of knowledge and understanding, listened intently to Taro's recounting of the mystical encounter. The celestial weapons you seek are not mere myths, Kaido spoke, his voice a gentle but firm tide. They are the legacy of the gods, protectors of balance and harmony. Each weapon is guarded by a creature of legend, a test of your worthiness. You must venture beyond the known, into lands where myths live and breathe. Kaido presented Taro with an ancient scroll, its parchment yellowed by time. This map, he said, unfurling it carefully, will guide you towards the eastern woods, where the Serpent of Storms guards the Sword of Wind. Tread carefully, for your journey begins with a trial of courage and strength. As Taro prepared to leave, the villagers gathered to bid farewell to the boy they had watched grow, now a young man embarking on a quest of unimaginable scale. Among them, Taro's childhood friends, Keiko and Hiro, approached with a mix of worry and pride in their eyes. "We believe in you, Taro," Keiko said, her voice steady but laden with emotion. Hiro, usually reserved, added, "Bring honor to Mizuho, and return safely." With heartfelt goodbyes and the weight of his village's hopes on his shoulders, Taro set forth. His journey took him through the verdant fields of Nihon, under the expansive sky, and towards the looming silhouette of the eastern woods. As Taro ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew dense with the whispers of ancient trees. The once familiar chirping of birds gave way to a silence that seemed to reverberate with the hidden secrets of the forest. It was here, amidst the intertwining roots and ancient canopies, that Taro first encountered his companions. A dog, with fur as white as snow and eyes gleaming with intelligence, emerged from the shadows. "I am Sora," the dog spoke, revealing his gift of speech. "I have awaited your coming, Taro. The winds of fate whispered of your quest." Next, a monkey, agile and swift, swung down from the tree branches. "I am Kaze," he declared with a mischievous grin. "The elements have called me to your side." Lastly, from the skies descended a majestic pheasant, radiant with feathers of many hues. "I am Hikari," she sang in a melodic voice. "My songs heal and protect. Together, we shall aid you on your journey." With his newfound companions, each bearing unique abilities and wisdom, Taro continued through the labyrinth of the eastern woods. His heart, once filled with uncertainty, now brimmed with the courage of companionship and the determination to fulfill his destiny. The path ahead was shrouded in mystery, but Taro knew that together, they would face whatever trials awaited them. Chapter 3: The Trials of the Four Beasts. The journey of Taro and his companions through the enigmatic lands of Nihon was marked by both wonder and peril. Their quest led them to confront the guardians of the celestial weapons, mythical beasts of ancient lore. The Serpent of Storms. Their first trial awaited in the heart of the eastern woods, a place where the air hummed with latent magic. Here, the Serpent of Storms, a colossal creature with scales that shimmered like lightning, guarded the Sword of Wind. As they approached its lair, the sky darkened, and fierce winds howled. Taro, holding fast to his resolve, stepped forward. The serpent, with eyes like glowing embers, coiled menacingly. "Why do you seek the Sword of Wind, child of the peach?" it hissed, its voice echoing through the trees. Taro replied, "To protect Nihon from the darkness that threatens to engulf it." His words, sincere and brave, resonated in the heart of the beast. A battle of wits and agility ensued. Kaze, with his mastery over the elements, aided Taro, weaving through the serpent's gusts. Sora's foresight guided their movements, and Hikari's songs bolstered their spirits. In the end, Taro's courage and the unity of his companions convinced the Serpent of Storms of their worthiness. The beast relented, bestowing upon Taro the Sword of Wind, a blade that hummed with the power of the tempest. The Phoenix of Flames. Their next journey led them to the fiery caverns, a realm where rivers of lava flowed beneath a crimson sky. The Phoenix of Flames, a majestic bird with feathers like tongues of fire, awaited. Its challenge was one of endurance and heart. As flames engulfed them, Taro and his friends fought not to defeat the phoenix but to withstand its fiery trial. Hikari's songs cooled the searing heat, while Sora and Kaze worked in tandem to navigate the inferno. Through their perseverance, the phoenix recognized their indomitable spirits, granting Taro the bow of fire, an artifact capable of shooting arrows alight with eternal flames. The Golem of Earth. In the Mountains of Echoes, they faced the Golem of Earth, a titan carved from the heart of the mountain itself. Its challenge was one of strength and resolve. The Golem's massive form towered over them, its rocky fists capable of shattering stone. Together, they strategized, using their agility and intelligence rather than brute force. Taro, wielding the Sword of Wind, directed strikes against the Golem's joints, while Kaze and Sora distracted it with their quick movements. Hikari's melodies soothed the Golem's ancient spirit, revealing a weakness in its armor. Through teamwork, they overcame the Golem, earning the gauntlets of stone, imbued with the strength of the mountain. The Dragon of Seas. Finally, they ventured into the abyssal depths, a realm beneath the waves, to confront the Dragon of Seas. This serpentine leviathan, with scales like sapphires, challenged them in a domain where humans dared not tread. With the trident of tides at stake, Taro and his companions braved the ocean's depths. The dragon's challenge was one of adaptability and courage in the face of the unknown. Hikari's songs created a bubble of air, allowing them to breathe underwater, while Sora's keen instincts navigated the treacherous waters. Kaze's affinity with the elements controlled the currents. In a display of bravery and respect for the sea, Taro approached the dragon, his intentions clear and pure. Recognizing the hero's valor and the harmony among his companions, the Dragon of Seas bestowed upon Taro the Trident of Tides, a weapon with the power to command the very oceans. With the 4 celestial weapons in their possession, Taro and his companions emerged from each trial not only as victors but as a united force, their bond strengthened by the challenges faced and overcome. Their journey back to Mizuho was marked by a newfound sense of purpose, as they prepared to confront the darkness that threatened their world. Chapter 4: The Shadow Rises. With the 4 celestial weapons in their possession, Taro and his companions made their way back to Mizuho. The journey was long, and the lands they traversed were now cast in a foreboding shadow, an ominous sign of the encroaching darkness. As they neared the village, an unsettling silence greeted them. The once vibrant fields lay barren, and a dense fog enshrouded the village. The air was thick with a palpable sense of dread, and the sky above Mizuho was darkened by an unnatural eclipse. Entering the village, they found the streets deserted. Homes and workshops were abandoned in haste, and a feeling of despair hung heavily in the air. The joy of their triumphant return was quickly overshadowed by the eerie stillness. In the village square, they encountered Master Kaido, who appeared weary and burdened with worry. He relayed the grim events that had transpired in their absence. A dark sorcerer named Orochi, wielding powers of corruption and decay, had descended upon Mizuho, seeking the celestial weapons. Orochi had unleashed his demonic horde upon the village, demanding the villagers to surrender the weapons. In an act of defiance, the villagers had refused, leading Orochi to cast a spell of darkness over Mizuho, cursing the land and its people. Many villagers had fled, while others were trapped in an enchanted slumber, their spirits held captive by Orochi's magic. Taro, filled with a righteous fury, declared, "We will not let this tyranny stand. Orochi will pay for what he has done to Mizuho and its people." The determination in his voice rallied the spirits of his companions. Master Kaido, with a solemn nod, handed Taro an ancient talisman. This talisman, he explained, was crafted by the ancients to protect against dark magic. It may shield you from Orochi's sorcery. With the village under siege and its people in peril, Taro and his companions knew that time was of the essence. They set out to confront Orochi and his demonic forces, guided by the talisman's faint glow. As night fell, they reached the outskirts of Orochi's stronghold, a fortress erected overnight by dark magic at the village's edge. The fortress, a twisted structure of blackened stone and thorns, pulsed with an ominous energy. The group devised a plan. Sora, with his acute senses, would scout the perimeter for a way in. Kaze, agile and swift, would create a diversion, while Hikari's melodies would cloak their movements in an aura of invisibility. Infiltrating the fortress, they navigated through shadowy corridors and overcame the demons that lurked within. The closer they got to Orochi's lair, the more intense the corruption became, a testament to the sorcerer's growing power. Finally, they reached the heart of the fortress, where Orochi awaited, his presence a dark maelstrom of energy. Orochi, with eyes glowing with malevolence, sneered at their arrival. "So, the child of the peach has come to challenge me. You and your pitiful weapons are no match for my power." Taro, brandishing the sword of wind, replied with unwavering resolve, "We stand united against your darkness, Orochi. For Mizuho, for its people, and for the light that you seek to extinguish." Thus, a battle for the fate of Mizuho and the very soul of Nihon began. Taro and his companions, armed with the celestial weapons and the courage of their convictions, faced off against the dark sorcerer and his demonic forces. The clash was epic, a tumultuous confrontation between light and darkness. Chapter 5: The Battle for Destiny. As the full moon rose over Orochi's dark fortress, casting a ghostly light over the twisted spires, Taro and his companions braced for the battle of their lifetimes. The air was thick with tension, crackling with the opposing energies of the celestial weapons and Orochi's dark magic. Orochi, towering and malevolent, clad in armor that seemed to absorb the very light around him, faced Taro. Behind him, his legion of demons stood ready, a horrifying array of creatures born from the darkest corners of nightmares. The battle commenced with a deafening roar as Kaze, summoning the power of the elements, created a fierce gale that scattered the front line of demons. Sora, with agility and precision, darted through the enemy ranks, creating openings for Taro and Hikari to exploit. Hikari's songs filled the air, weaving a protective melody around her companions, her feathers shimmering with a radiant light. Taro, with a sword of wind in hand, moved with a dancer's grace and a warrior's precision. The sword's blade cut through the air, sending arcs of lightning towards the oncoming foes. Each strike was guided by the wisdom and courage that had been instilled in him throughout his journey. Orochi, seeing his forces faltering, unleashed his full power. Dark energy swirled around him, forming a vortex that threatened to engulf everything. The very ground shook as he chanted an ancient, forbidden spell, aiming to crush the will of Taro and his companions. It was then that the true power of the celestial weapons revealed itself. As Taro and his friends stood united, their weapons began to glow with an ethereal light, resonating with their unbreakable bond and the purity of their purpose. The sword of wind, the bow of fire, the gauntlets of stone, and the trident of tides combined their powers, creating a maelstrom of elemental energy. Taro stepped forward, the talisman from Master Kaido glowing brightly on his chest, and raised the sword of wind. The combined powers of the weapons and the talisman created a barrier that repelled Orochi's dark magic. In the pivotal moment, Taro locked eyes with Orochi. In that gaze, Orochi saw not just a boy, but a true hero, embodying the hope and resilience of all of Nihon. With a defiant cry, Taro charged, his companions at his side. The clash was monumental, a symphony of light and darkness. Orochi's power was immense, but it was no match for the united front of Taro and his friends. With each strike, each parry, and each spell, they pushed Orochi back, breaking down his defenses. Finally, with a decisive blow from the Sword of Wind, enhanced by the collective power of the celestial weapons, Taro struck Orochi down. The dark sorcerer's cry echoed through the fortress as his body disintegrated into shadows, his reign of terror ending in a burst of light. The demons, now leaderless, dispersed into the night, their threat vanishing as quickly as it had appeared. The dark cloud over Mizuho lifted, revealing the starlit sky once more. Exhausted but victorious, Taro and his companions stood amidst the ruins of the fortress, their hearts heavy with the cost of their battle but uplifted by their triumph. They had not only saved Mizuho but also protected the future of Nihon from the clutches of darkness. Chapter 6, A Hero's Legacy. In the aftermath of the monumental battle, the dawn broke over Mizuho, its light bathing the village in a warm, comforting glow. The villagers, freed from Orochi's dark spell, emerged from their homes, their eyes widening in disbelief at the sight of their saviors, Taro and his valiant companions. The air was filled with joyous cries and tearful reunions. The villagers gathered in the square, their faces illuminated by the morning sun, as they celebrated the defeat of Orochi and the end of his reign of terror. Taro, standing amidst his friends, felt a profound sense of peace and accomplishment. Master Kaido, with tears in his wise old eyes, approached Taro. "You have fulfilled the ancient prophecy, Taro. You have not only saved Mizuho but also restored balance to Nihon. You and your friends have etched your names in the annals of our history." The villagers, in their gratitude, offered Taro and his companions gifts and honors. Yet Taro, humbled by his journey, declined. "We sought not glory or reward, but to protect our home and its people. The greatest honor for us is to see Mizuho at peace." Sora, Kaze, and Hikari, who had become heroes in their own right, echoed Taro's sentiments. They had grown beyond their initial roles as mere companions, emerging as pivotal figures in the saga that had unfolded. As the celebrations subsided, Taro and his friends decided it was time to part ways. They knew their bond would endure, no matter the distance. Sora returned to the forests, promising to guard them against any future threats. Kaze, with a playful wink, disappeared into the wind, his laughter echoing in the air. Hikari, with a final, melodious farewell, soared into the sky, her feathers glistening in the sunlight. Taro, with the celestial weapons safely returned to their rightful places, guarded by new, worthy creatures, chose to remain in Mizuho. He spent his days helping rebuild the village and teaching the children the virtues of courage, kindness, and unity. Years passed, and Taro's legend grew. Stories of the peach-born hero and his companions spread far and wide, inspiring songs, plays, and tales that were passed down through generations. Taro, who had once emerged from a celestial peach, had become a symbol of hope and resilience, a beacon in times of darkness. In his later years, Taro often gazed at the starry sky, reflecting on his journey. He knew that the peace they had fought for was not eternal, but a treasure to be cherished and protected. And in the hearts of those who believed in the tales of Taro and his companions, the legacy of the hero from Mizuho lived on, an eternal testament to the power of unity and courage in the face of adversity. Epilogue: The legend lives on. Years turned into decades, and the saga of Taro, the hero born from a celestial peach, transcended time, becoming a tapestry of legend woven into the fabric of Nihon's history. The village of Mizuho, once a humble settlement, flourished into a vibrant community, a beacon of hope and resilience, standing as a testament to the courage and unity exemplified by Taro and his companions. In the heart of the village, near the river where Taro was once discovered, stood a memorial, a beautiful garden filled with peach trees, their blossoms a perpetual reminder of the hero's origins. Here, people from far and wide came to pay homage, leaving offerings and whispering prayers of gratitude. The tale of Taro's journey, his battles against the forces of darkness, and the unbreakable bond with his companions, Sora, Kaze, and Hikari, were recounted with reverence and awe. Storytellers and minstrels sang of their bravery, their voices carrying the legacy through the winds of time. In schools across the land, children listened with wide-eyed wonder to the stories of Taro's adventures. They were taught the values of courage, kindness, and friendship, the very virtues that had guided Taro and his friends through their perilous journey. As the generations passed, the legend of Taro inspired countless others. Heroes rose in different times and places, each carrying the spirit of Taro in their hearts. The celestial weapons, now part of legend, symbolize the eternal fight against darkness and the power of unity. The legend also served as a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope, a possibility for a hero to rise. It instilled a sense of duty and courage in the hearts of the people of Nihon, a belief that together, they could overcome any adversity. In the tranquil nights of Mizuho, when the sky was clear and the stars shone brightly, the elders spoke of a prophecy. It was said that when the land faced darkness once again, a new hero, guided by the spirit of Taro, would emerge. This hero would unite the people and lead them towards the light, continuing the cycle of bravery and heroism that Taro had begun. And so, the legend of Taro and his companions lived on, not just as a tale of a bygone era, but as a living, breathing inspiration. In every peach blossom that fluttered in the spring breeze, in every brave heart that stood against injustice, and in every act of kindness and unity, the legacy of Taro, the peach-born hero, continued to shine, a timeless beacon in the ever-turning wheel of destiny.